What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 428 of Community Universe Molded Edition number 46 of Reality Wrasslin. Welcome in all for another action-packed card, as always, this Thursday afternoon. What is up, Bateman? And here's the deal. You have Henry Evans on and Adam Valentine on Genesis. If you want me to download Terry, I feel like I have to get rid of Henry. I don't have a whole lot of space. I think I'm deleting a couple of calls after this show, but currently I only have 2 spots open. But welcome in all as we get prepared to kick the shindig off with some singles action. D'Angelo Prince going to be taking on Brent King, a.k.a. Brooklyn, giving himself a little bit of a makeover. We saw him on last week's Reality Wrestling defeat Christ in a no-holds-barred matchup. Now he's completely transformed himself, going by his real name now, Brent King, and a new attire to boot, as he battles a CMV veteran, if you will. A CMV veteran in the sense that he's technically been around since Season 3, but D'Angelo Prince has really never been consistently a part of CMV for longer than like a couple of months at a time. He's bounced around. He was on Fusion, then he was on Unmatched, then he was on Unmatched? I don't know if he's ever on Unmatched. He was on NGW, and now a part of the Genesis roster, as he is, of course, flanked by the Jackson Bros, Carlton, and Daryl. You guys can hear. Please tell me you can hear me. I keep cutting out. Let me turn on the audio on my stream. Hello. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I can hear myself on my stream. Try refreshing, Bateman, if it's still breaking up for you. Try readjusting my mic a little bit. Hopefully there's not lag. That might be why it's cutting out a little bit. Oh. Well, Bateman or somebody, can you relay to GOAT that I said if he wants me to download Terry, I'll have to get rid of Henry Evans? But here we go, my friends. What up, by the way, Soul and Rage? Nice to have you for this edition of Reality Wrasslin'. As there's D'Angelo Prince, who will be competing here with the Jackson Bros flanking him. Of course, these 3 men forming the Enterprise. The Jackson Bros actually poised for competition tomorrow night on Genesis. They'll be taking on the Unbeaten Brule, guys. Of course, this Sunday, the Genesis exclusive pay-per-view, the 3rd annual CyberSlam, will be coming your way. Extraordinarily hyped up about it. The power is in your hands. The card for the pay-per-view will be posted just a couple hours after this stream ends, so make sure you are a part of our website, cmvwrestling.com, !join if you want to vote, you want your voice heard. You're going to have to make sure that you are a part of our website, as here comes the man formerly known as Brooklyn, Brent King. Like I said, coming off that victory, handing Christ his first defeat last week, after weeks of Christ getting one up over Brent. Just kicking off the show here on Reality Wrestling number 46. An action-packed card, I should say. Of course, our main event tonight, guys, was supposed to be a Rising Star Championship match. Black Gale defending, making his first defense of the championship since winning it back on the pre-show of Sacrifice. But Black Gale, remember, was missing during Fusion and again did not show up tonight. Johnny Sampson came on the Titantron at the top of the show and said that Gale, the reason he's been missing is that he was put into rehab by Johnny Sampson to try to battle his alcoholism, his addiction to the bottle, and said that if Black Gale can't make it to CyberSlam this Sunday, in order to defend his Rising Star Championship, that the title would essentially have to be vacated, and decided in a different match to crown a new champion. So Gale not here tonight. Instead, RGP, who was supposed to be challenging Black Gale, will be taking on Blake Virtue. And again, if Gale cannot try and make it to CyberSlam that Sunday to defend his championship, the belt will be vacated and decided. A new champion will be crowned, as Brent King and D'Angelo Prince, two very similar competitors in style, clash here. Hey, what up, Pellish? Brent King beckoning for Prince to get up to his feet. No more Gucci Prada on display here by Brent. A more classic wrestling attire. Also to come tonight, guys, we got a debut in Nicholas Hemmerling. Looking forward to that. Man, oh, what a Phoenix splash by King into a pin attempt, but just a 1 count. Oh, my eyeball. Yeah, but Nicholas Hemmerling, guys, going to be taking on Johnny Vegas in his CMV debut. Hello, Chrissy. I apologize. Oh, nice lumbar check by King, and that very well may be the beginning and the end for D'Angelo Prince, or perhaps not. Can't count out Prince. Nice fireman's carry. Going to take King overhead here. I said, yeah, definitely. Bateman, if you upload another call, I will certainly grab him. Always love me a good Bateman call. As D'Angelo Prince with a spinning soul kick, now an Irish whip off the ropes, catches a boot to the chest, another boot to the chest. A man formerly known as Brooklyn in big time trouble right now as he catches this rotation neck breaker. Now to a vertical base kick to the midsection. Vintage Prince right here, heir to the throne, he calls that. Perhaps that will be enough to grab himself the victory at the top of Reality Wrestling here today. No, just a 2 count. Now D'Angelo, I believe, may have been trying to go for that tequila sunrise of his, but King, well scouted, obviously did his homework, able to survive for now. As he counters that scoop slam punch to the back of the head, Brent closes in, big kick to the midsection. Some oof behind that one. Now pump handle driver. Love me a good driver into the pin. Will that be enough to do it? Nope, just a 1 count. Up to the top rope, guys. Gotta wonder how RGP is feeling tonight after he was looking for that rematch against Black Gale, hoping to become Rising Star champion, and now that Gale's in rehab, not gonna get that opportunity. Of course, we know that this Sunday, RGP is set to battle the Viking Eric Skarsgård. Nice little Armbar leg lock combination being applied by King, but Prince going to be able to escape it. RGP been preparing all week long for Blackdale. Now has to contend with the very impressive Blake Virtue. Virtue on a 3-match winning streak heading into tonight's main event as King with a monkey flip now lining up his shot. Looks like he's going to go for a Canadian Destroyer, but what a reversal by D'Angelo Prince. Couple of punches directly in the face, going to set himself free, but a high kick right to the side of the head. Going to rock Prince, and there's the Canadian Destroyer anyhow. What a sequence that was. Will that be enough? King making sure there's no rope breaks as the Jackson Bros are forced to watch on. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. Some time wasted by Brent trying to get into the pin, and that may have been what Prince utilized there to power out. Keeping his foot on the pedal. Beautiful 450 off of the springboard. And the Jackson Bros, like I said earlier, set for big time action tomorrow night on Genesis, the go-home edition of Genesis. They take on the unbeaten Brûlé. Oh, but look at this right now. As Carlton and Daryl watch on. D'Angelo Prince might have this in the bag. Woo! Hangman's face buster about to close the deal. 1, 2. Nearly does, but not quite enough. And Prince is astonished here. Now in the corner like it ain't no thing, but a chicken wing trying to compose himself, relax a little bit. Can't waste too much time, though. Not allowing Brent to get up to his feet on his own regard, grabbing a handful of hair, just whipping him right into the mat. Big old knee strike off the second turnbuckle, guys. Tonight we also have the return of Johnny Columbus. We haven't seen him since... Validation, what a sequence. These two guys put on one hell of a show. What a way to kick off Reality Wrestling. Oh, but look at this D'Angelo Prince now looking to sour the mood. Dirty heel tactics with both his feet on the middle rope. Brent King having none of that trash, though. Now an Irish whip Brent into the corner. Oh, busted wide open with a sharp elbow. Nicely executed jawbreaker. And D'Angelo Prince falls to the canvas like a sack of stones. Brent King talking that trash. Up to the top rope, and what is the rookie looking for here? Referee Poe tell him to get down. It's dangerous up there. Beautiful. I don't even know. Was it a corkscrew moonsault? Completely honest, I'm not too sure what that was, but I do know that Prince is bleeding like a stuffed pig right now. Those freaking curve stomps to the chest. Look at the collapse of lung, maybe. Look at the Crimson Mask, but Prince fighting through. Another heir to the throne. Might just turn things around and hand the win to D'Angelo. Crack to the jaw, reverse DDT onto the knee, and then a neck breaker. And as D'Angelo goes to the pin, guys, lateral press, we have our first tweet of the evening from Tyson Cage, who says, I make my return tomorrow for my... Oh, wait a minute, gotta put that on pause, guys, because the end of this match might be nigh. Prince, a second time Hangman's face buster into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and D'Angelo Prince knocks off Brent King, also known as Brooklyn, in a highly competitive matchup. And as we get the highlights, here's that tweet from Tyson Cage. He says, I make my return tomorrow for my most anticipated movie, which the title of the movie and the trailer for the movie will be revealed prior to my match. Can't wait to designate Mr. Boone Juice. Hashtag TC is... What? TC is MK? To decimate Mr. Boone, by the way. I'm not too sure what that hashtag is. TC is MK. But, yeah, Tyson Cage returns after about a month and a half or so off from filming his new movie, taking on Samuel Boone tomorrow night. But here, guys, Tyson Cage with that tweet, and D'Angelo Prince celebrating with the Jackson Bros, bloody bruised and all. What a bout to start the show here. And there's the solidarity. We'll see if the Jackson Bros can use this momentum to knock off Brûlé tomorrow night. Now, my friends, up next, Wrasslin number 46, some tag team action coming our way. We know that next Sunday, CMV returns to Tokyo, Japan in the Tokyo Dome for the 3rd annual Tag Team Cup, a Fusion exclusive event where 8 teams will compete for the right to go down in the history books and receive a shot at the Fusion Tag Team Champions, the ATL. Here we have 2 teams that will be competing in that tournament. The Ballers Club, of course, it will be Chris Diamond and Rob Cross. Tonight, it's Rob Cross and Chase Henderson. They take on the Brass Ring Club, JT Fury and Chris Sullivan, with, of course, Flashy ringside. The Brass Ring Club made their debut as a team earlier this week on Fusion with a loss to the ATL. After that matchup, the ATL went on alert, saying they had the tag team division on lock, pretty much insulting and saying that no team in the tournament has a chance to take those titles from them. The ATL will have to defend their belts in an elimination tag team match against the winners of the tournament on that same night. Still unbeaten, and definitely Malcolm Fry and Sean Porter are very confident, and with good reason. But there are 8 very skilled teams in that tournament, and the ATL certainly would be wise not to underestimate any of them. Looking for some momentum here are these 2 duos. Like I said, in the Tag Team Cup, it will be Chris Diamond and Rob Cross who team up here tonight. It is the WGW Light Heavyweight Champion Cross and Chase Henderson who pair together. Yeah, a couple of last-second fill-ins after Billy Weaver was recently released from CMV, thus he and Bannon being pulled from the Cup, and also the Pros disbanding. 2 new teams have been added to the lineup, and Azrael and Perry Heenan and Dance Party being given a second chance. Remember, they lost to Blood and Stone in a qualifier, but thanks to the Pros no longer being together, they are going to get another chance. I'm definitely excited to see the Boa and the Pitbull come back together. They were very impressive last season. And here is the Brass Ring Club. Center stage, there's Flashy, who will be at ringside showing his support as Chris Sullivan and JT Fury are in action. Like I said earlier this week on Fusion, they took the ATL to the limit, but still it was the tag team champions who emerged victorious. Brass Ring Club, though, saying on Twitter they are very confident that if given another shot at the ATL with the titles on the line, they will not disappoint. And if they can win the cup, they will get that second chance that they oh so want. What up, Bat Boy? Big Bat, my ride or die. Still to come in our main event, RGP, who's been preparing for Black Gale and a Rising Star title opportunity. Unfortunately, not going to receive it with Gale being in rehab. Instead, takes on Blake Virtue in preparation for battling Eric Skarsgård this Sunday at SummerSlam. Actually, a big tag team match announced for tomorrow night on Genesis. Going to be the unbeaten Luke Swanson and Skarsgård teaming together to take on RGP and Sean Kent. That should most definitely be an interesting tag team matchup as we get set for tag team action right here. Referee rings the bell. Going to be Rob Cross and JT Fury starting things off deep. Scoop slam there by the WGW Light Heavyweight Champion. Now driving his knee right into Fury's face. Brought to a vertical base. Tries for a suplex into a neck breaker. Dominating his Cross early on here. Not a great way to start things off. Baller's club. Taking control, but a Hurricane Rana by Fury. Gonna start to turn the tide. Fireman's carry overhead now. Cross bringing JT up to his feet. Hook to the jaw. Turns him about now from behind. Couple of elbows. Still to come also tonight, guys. The debut of Nicholas Hemmerling. As he'll be taking on Johnny Vegas and Cross with a pile driver. All right. Damn. Now looking for a tag, I do believe. And here comes Chase Henderson. Last time we saw Henderson, he suffered a defeat at the hands of Red Rum. To the top rope, perched high, takes a risk with a 450 splash that connects, and Fury just getting mauled here early on. Down on one knee, and if I were JT, I would most definitely be looking for a tag now. What a forearm smash! Mamma mia! And there we go, JT Wise slaps hands with Sullivan. And here comes the newcomer to see if he can start to turn things around a little bit. Remember, we got Flashy ringside. Got to have eyes in the back of their heads, do Henderson. And Cross Irish whip into the corner. Maybe Chase looking to make another tag. Nope, puts him up high instead. That's not a place that Sully wants to be. Boot to the chest. Now it is he who jumps off with a savate kick, just narrowly escaping that kick to the back by Cross there. And now we've seen Sullivan do this before, a beautifully executed implant buster. Stomp to the back of the head now. Has Chase Henderson looking up at the lights as Sullivan climbs up to the second turnbuckle, taking to the air for an elbow drop. Picture perfect. Hook to the jaw now from behind for a half Nelson backbreaker. Chase Henderson starting to go under. Trying to keep his head above the water, but into the corner with an Irish whip. And perhaps the Brass Ring Club looking to finish things off. Tag to JT, and what do we have here? Oh, I think a little bit of a magic killer. JT hooks the leg. Will that do it? If Sullivan can stop Rob Cross, which he does not, only a 1 count. Another pinfall attempt, though, by Fury, while Sullivan has Cross chapped, but still only a 1 count. Hey, what a flashy, relatively just in time as Cross is taken out by Sullivan. Sullivan got to get back to the apron, though, before he's disqualified. The Ballers Club taking on the Brass Ring Club. I believe Chase Henderson going to try to mount a comeback. Nice shoulder block, rebounds off the ropes, another shoulder block. Rebounds off the ropes again, but JT, well scouted, throws him out to the apron. Now Chase going to climb up to the top rope. Fury does not see it. Busy recuperating. Double axe handle. Gonna take him out. Now into the corner. What do we got here? From Chase Henderson. Nothing pretty, I assure you. What an enziguri. Mamma mia. One. But Sullivan going to be able to save his partner as Cross is still down. Now back to his feet into the apron. Oh, and now JT Fury on spaghetti legs, wobbles to his feet, unaware that Henderson from behind with a discus forearm smash off the electric chair. Fury in La La Land, hook in the leg, looking to seal the deal, but Sullivan again makes the save. Cross getting a bit pissed. Looking to take Sullivan out. Inadvertently, Chase Henderson stops him from doing that, though. Hook to the jaw. Cross now looks for a back suplex while JT is brought to his feet. Ooh, brother, a wheelbarrow facebuster. And now it is a handicap scenario for Fury as Chris Sullivan rolls to the outside. But look at that, JT not done just yet. Sullivan been incredibly impressive since arriving in CMV about a month and a half ago, targeting that knee. Oh, man, he might have shattered the cap into a million little pieces. You don't know. It's going pretty well, Flashy. Thanks for asking. As Flashy watches from ringside, you see JT trying to catch a breather, but he best be careful because Chase Henderson's trying to make a hot tag to Rob Cross. Stopped just in the nick of time. But a knee up to the chest. Chase Henderson creates an opening for himself. Now going to look to make that tag. Sullivan is still down. And Rob Cross, now the legal man, goes for a stomp to the lower back. High kick now. The WGW light heavyweight champion going for a power slam. Instead receives a reverse DDT. Neck crank being applied. Simple but effective maneuver here. Trying to slow things down. Fury knows that he's hurting real bad. Wants to make sure that he stays in control while keeping his opponent grounded. Irish whip into the corner now. JT looking to make the tag, and he does to Sullivan. Oh, second time it looks like reversing rolls, but another magic killer by the Wrasslin Club. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Just a 2 count, though. Not even having to make the save. Henderson was getting into the ring to do so, but Rob Cross surviving on his own regard. And now Cross, one of the first ever WGW guys to cross over to CMV with a last ride sit-out powerbomb. Stomp down onto the back, not through with the onslaught just yet. Ripcord knee by Cross into the pin. This might do it. Oh, Flashy! Flashy calling Poe's attention, distracting him, and Cross forced to release the hold. Here comes Chase Henderson and Fury now battling. Mayhem ensuing here in the ring. Chris Sullivan still down, but that couple of 30 seconds, about a minute or so, was enough for him to recuperate. But there we go, Chase Henderson fucking him over just as he was looking to battle. Oh no, now Rob Cross looking to add insult to injury as he ties Sullivan up into a wins or not. And I believe what follows is not going to be fun for Sullivan. Right up with a sun don't shine with a stiff kick. Excuse me, that was a deep caught. Rip in peace. And now dirty heel tackle. So I thought he was going to try to put his ropes on the his ropes on the middle legs. His legs on the middle rope. Reverse DDT once again by Cross. You see Flashy on edge right now. Really wants his boys to pick up the momentum heading into the Tag Team Cup next Sunday. Tag from Rob Cross to Chase Henderson here, though. And the Ballers Club, what do we got here? Butterfly DDT, I believe. Then kick back into a wheelbarrow suplex. What a tandem maneuver right there. But oh, look at that! Hot tag to JT. Sullivan, like it ain't no thing but a chicken wang, able to shake off the cobwebs. Now a couple of lariats, 3 in a row to be exact. JT Fury with a fire up in his ass, and now Fury lining up the shot, and Henderson in big trouble. TKO by JT. Tries to make the pin, but Sullivan's not here to help him out. Will this do it? Uno, dos, tres it will. The Wrasslin Club victorious. What an ending there. Just as it looks like the Ballers Club might have had it in the bag. A hot tag by Sullivan brings in Fury to grab the W after a TKO. Highly competitive tag team matchup. Wrasslin Club grabbing that momentum heading into the Cup next Sunday. Can they utilize it to win the whole damn thing and get another crack at the ATL? Vintage dashing with the battery dying. Breeze. At least it didn't happen during the match. But up next, my friends, we reach our tertiary main event of the evening. Still a lot to get to in the debut of Nicholas Hemmerling as he takes on Johnny Vegas. Then in the main event, RGP battles the impressive Blake Virtue. But first, guys, Kevin Silva, just witnessing his former tag team partner Chris Sullivan grab a W alongside the Brass Ring Club, looks to get himself a victory as he takes on the returning Johnny Columbus, we haven't seen since Validation when he was a part of Team Divine. The WGW crossover looking to return with a bang and knock off the self-proclaimed Portuguese wrestling god. Certainly a stiff striker and submission expert. Columbus had best be on his game tonight if he hopes to withstand the flurry of Kevin Silva. Of course, guys, it is this Sunday, the 3rd annual CMV CyberSlam event. Genesis exclusive this year, an absolutely stacked card from top to bottom, and the power is in your hands. Every single match will have some sort of pull or stipulation attached to it that you decide on. So if you want your voice heard, make sure you join our website. ! Join in the chat. We'll give you a link. CMVWrestling.com. The card will be posted later on today. Get your votes in for this Sunday as here comes Kevin Silva on the losing end, back at Sacrifice to Chris Sullivan. Certainly it's got to be getting under the skin of Silva, seeing his former friend turned foe grabbing so much success lately. And here's a tweet, guys, from Flashy that says, Bullish Club, you now know that the Brass Ring Club is a force to be reckoned with. Certainly was a great win for JT Fury and Chris Sullivan heading into the Cup next Sunday as Silva amps himself up, ready to go. Johnny Columbus, ladies and gentlemen, was a fast rising star towards the start of this season. All the newcomers, guys from WGW and RJPW coming over, all the partnerships being formed. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle and not get too noticed. But Johnny Columbus certainly grabbing himself a lot of W's, showcasing his abilities, and has gotten himself the support of the CMV universe. Has had himself a nice month and a half off. Hopefully he spent that training, though, and there's no ring rust on him. I have no idea what you just said, Hellish. This matchup gets underway, though, in our tertiary main event. Front headlock by Johnny Columbus to the self-proclaimed Portuguese wrestling god. Now a nice, quick arm drag right there. And, of course, 4 weeks from this Sunday, guys, will be the next time that the Genesis Superstars take to pay-per-view the 3rd annual Point Break that will showcase not 1 but 2 Elimination Chamber matches. General Manager Cass LaFave announcing that the Alpha World Championship will be defended inside the chamber, but it's up to you guys which other Genesis title should be up for grabs. The Demonic Structure, a poll currently on the website asking if it should be the Anarchy Championship or the International Championship. The International title currently is up. I think last time I checked it was 4-1. This Sunday at CyberSlam, both those titles will be defended by the man who holds the 2 of them. Chris Andrews, back-to-back triple threat matches. Himself, Alistair Knox, and it's in your hands who the 3rd man will be. Either Adam Valentine, John Reed, or Lance Martini. Guys, at a count of 7, Kevin Silva whipped into the steel steps. But look at good guy Columbus. He could have easily gotten the win there. Instead, breaks the count. This doesn't want to return with a shitty win like that. Sugar is very excited for this matchup. JT Fury and Chris Sullivan are already announced as the two members to be competing in the Tag Team Cup. The complete lineup is actually up now. The last official lineup is on our website, CMVWrestling.com. It's posted with the Genesis card, guys. At a count of 7 again. Half suplex. They're going to throw Columbus overhead at an 8. These guys going to get back into the ring. Seems to be some tension that maybe we weren't aware of. But look at that, Silva! Oh, Silva! Johnny Columbus earlier broke the count. He didn't want to win by count out. But Silva had no problem doing so. Dirty, dirty heel. Andrews would say it's a legit way to win. But the Portuguese wrestling god nabs himself a W over the returning Columbus by count out. And I guess that's what separates these two. Silva, absolutely no issue with getting the win by count out here. Something tells me that there was some sort of animosity between these two. They beat the shit out of each other. Silva grabbing the W there, guys, by nefarious means. Count out to defeat Johnny Columbus. But now we are main event here for Reality Wrestling. Number 46, the debut of Nicholas Hemmerling to the Genesis roster. He takes on Johnny Vegas here, our main event. Still to come as RGP, though he was preparing to face Black Gale in a rematch from Sacrifice for the Rising Star title. Gale in rehab, not able to make it. Remember what Johnny Sampson said at the top of the show when he came on the Titantron? He said that if Gale cannot make it to this Sunday's SummerSlam, he'll have no choice. He and Cass coming together to decide that they will vacate the championship and a new champion will be decided at the pay-per-view. But Pullman now just looking for some momentum in today's main event, heading into his battle against Eric Skarsgård this Sunday. Now we get a look at Nicholas Hemmerling, ladies and gentlemen, one of few Australians to ever compete here in CMV. Believe it or not, we have not had a lot of Australian superstars. I mean, the first one that really jumps out at me is Jeremy Blake, of course, the first ever Anarchy champion and former international champion as well. I'm really trying to rack my brain at what other Australian superstars we've ever had in CMV. I really can't think of any besides Jeremy Blake right now. Probably there's got to be a couple, but here is our first look at the rookie, hoping to nab that big W in his debut. Certainly not being given an easy task. Johnny Vegas, a CMV veteran. Vegas certainly has had a rough go of it this season, not putting a whole lot of wins together, but still dangerous as ever. He's actually coming off a victory a couple of weeks ago. Last time we saw Vegas was in a 6-man tag team matchup. White is not Australian. I don't believe he is, anyway. Aaron's obviously Australian, but I don't think Aaron White is. At least it's never really been, talked about. What up, Topher, by the way? We had a tweet here from John Reed. Yes, here it is. A vote for Reed is a vote for the dark side. I mean change. Yeah, a vote for me is a vote for change. And then a tweet by Lance Martini says, a vote for me and I'll go sober. Who am I kidding? Vote for me and hey, your TV is hashtag Reed free. What more could you ask for? Oh, and drinks are on me. The party boy trying to garner that support for SummerSlam this Sunday. Adam Valentine, John Reed, and Lance Martini, the 3 men you can vote for to partake in those dual triple threat matches. Both the Anarchy and International titles on the line. Lance Martini, I talked about it a little bit last week, is, you know, if it was to be decided by performance over this past month, Martini would no doubt be the one going into those triple threats. He's beaten both Valentine and Reed in that elimination triple threat, and also holds the victory over Valentine back in the pre-show of Validation. But of course, it's up to you, the fans. You want to see Valentine? You want to see Reed? You want to see Martini? Make sure that you vote. As newcomer Nicholas Hemmerling going hard in the paint right now against Johnny Vegas. What a reversal right there, though, by Vegas. Looked like Nicholas maybe going for a Hurricane Rana. Instead got a stiff-looking powerbomb. But there we go, right back at it. It's Nicholas stalling the suplex for one of his own. Like I said, I talked about it a little bit regarding Johnny Columbus in the last match with all the newcomers and WGW guys, RJPW guys. It might be easy to get lost in the shuffle, but you got to do what you got to do to get your name out there, be known, and Hemmerling can start that right here today by getting this W over Vegas. Kick right to the back. Like I said, you really can't count out Johnny. Older in his years and a CMV veteran. Really been, spent most of this season battling a lot of the young blood. Look at that pile driver right there. That's going to send some shooting pains up and down the spine of Hemmerling, as now a boot is held to his face. It's the dirty heel tactics right there of Vegas. Rake of the eyes. Johnny has absolutely no problem doing what he has to do to grab himself the win. Now a pin of the rookie, middle of the ring, Poe into position. Not even a 1 count, though. Oh, digging the knee now into the back. You gotta watch out for Johnny. Very versatile, well-rounded, but most dangerous, I'd say, is his submission game. He's got that $1 million dream, the Cobra Clutch. Oh, yeah, Johnny is not exactly a high flyer, and we saw why right there. That attempted crossbody horribly botched. He got a little bit of the job done at least. Now a slingshot leg drop right to the back of the head. Vegas is mostly old school. You'll see a lot of suplexes. His finishing maneuver is a slingshot vertical suplex. I mean, you might hear that and be like, a suplex, but it's kept down a couple of guys. He's finished off matches with that before. See Vegas with a rake of the eyes, punch to the gut, now shoots in. Tries for a grapple, but Vegas a bit quicker. Man, this matchup really started off strong for Hemmerling, but now it has been all Vegas. What a stiff punch right there, by the way, off the rebound, but just a 1 count. And now a tweak, as we heard from Reed and Martini. Now Adam Valentine says, if you want CMV to continue in the run it's been in for years, vote Reed or Martini. But if you want to bring CMV into a new era, vote Valentine. And look at the mighty Hemmerling here with a wicked DDT off of the freaking arm drag up to the top rope. Now perched up high, and Hemmerling with a swanton bomb. Looks like you really get the full effect of that, but enough of it to perhaps finish off this matchup. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. No, just a 2 count. Like I said, you didn't get all of that. Yeah, it's certainly a first time. Wait a minute. Hemmerling gonna go right back up to the top rope. Maybe like wants to end this match. Oh, goes for a body. He's gonna go for another swanton bomb. But this Sunday, regarding the triple threat matches, it's definitely a new concept to CMV. They'd have 2 triple threat matches back to back, where Chris Andrews defends the Anarchy title in the first, then the International title in the second. Britt could walk into SummerSlam with both titles. He could walk out with just one. He could walk out with neither. We know that Aleister Knox will join him in both triple threats, but it's up to you guys who will be the third man to join them. Adam Valentine, John Reed, or Lance Martini. Oh, look at that. Whoever walks out as International Champion is going to have to then defend Point Break inside the Elimination Chamber. At least that's how it's looking like. The poll right now, the International title to be defended inside of the Elimination Chamber is winning by a landslide. Last time I checked, at least. Johnny Vegas right here going to hold his knee to the back of the head of the young blood. Taunting. Man, Vegas has been dominating Nicholas Hemmerling, guys. There's really no way to beat around the bush just straightforward. Hemmerling has got to do something real quick to turn this around. Look at Vegas now targeting the arm. You know what he's setting Nicholas up for is that $1 million dream, the Cobra Clutch. And if he locks that in, look at targeting the arm again, these headbutts over and over to the shoulder. And you see Nicholas favoring the arm too. Front headlock. Nicholas just completely out of it, guys. And it looks like Vegas now with a beautiful suplex. Couldn't have done it better myself. Writhing in agony, you see Nicholas. There we go. Don't know a whole lot about the Aussie superstar. His first matchup in CMV. Oh, and hung up to dry as Vegas there on the top rope. Can't count him out, though. Into the pin here. We're looking to finish, but only a 1 count over Vegas. Still to come on our main event, RGP and Blake Virtue. I'm actually really looking forward to that matchup. Virtue's been on a roll. He's coming into that matchup off of 3 victories, and he was actually he's the first man to beat Eric Skarsgård a couple weeks ago. Handed Skarsgård his first loss, and of course RGP will be facing Skarsgård this Sunday at SummerSlam. So definitely a good test for Polerman. Oh, but that was the wrong position for Nicholas Hemmerling. Vertical slingshot suplex. Man, Nicholas just set himself up in the worst possible position. Vegas capitalizes and gets the no. Talk about a close call. 2.99999. Hemmerling just about costing himself the matchup. Somehow survives. But you can't just survive. You actually got to win the match. Targets that arm, and you just see desperation pins by Nicholas here over and over again. A 2 count that time. I got you. If I have the room after, I'll download Terry and I'll keep Henry, but I'll probably have to delete Henry from Fusion. I'll check. I think I only have 2 spaces available right now. So not a lot of room, but wait a minute, look at this right here. Hemmerling once again going to take Vegas for a little bit of a ride. Beautiful DDT, and that time Vegas is bust wide open. Blood spurting out of that gash, opened up on his forehead. Not looking good for the veteran. Nicholas taking some time to taunt, let the fans know he's all right. Standing shooting star press. Doesn't get much more athletic than that. That takes some serious agility. Now he's going to go after the arm. Vegas pleading, begging him not to. Monkey flip. Going to throw him right overhead. Now Nicholas making a mistake, if you ask me. I don't know what he's doing, trying to get some maybe gas back in the tank or what. Wasting time, though. Johnny. Oh, then maybe not. Up high. And another Swanton Bomb, but there you go. The time wasted. Vegas utilizes that. Able to see that Swanton Bomb coming. Moves out of the way just the nick of time. Hemmerling able to stay in control. Look at that takedown by Vegas. What a matchup this has been. Oh, kick to the gut. That's going to suck the air right up out of Nicholas. And now Vegas looks to jump on the opening front headlock to the arm. Again, just slamming to the canvas, tied it up, and this is not going to be pretty. Look away. Oh, snap on the arm. Looking to tear the shoulder right out of the socket. Vertical base, face-to-face, front headlock by Vegas. Again after the arm. The target is very clear. Vegas is trying to soften up the rookie for that $1 million dream. Wrong time to taunt, my friend. Now caught up in the small package. Gonna pay for it. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Luckily, Hemmerling survives there. I hope that taught him a lesson not to taunt right in your opponent's face. But now look at Vegas trying to catch a breather, but Nicholas not letting up. Couple of double axe handles, ducks a clothesline, gets one off of his own. Looking for a refuge in the corners. Vegas not going to find it. Nicholas keeping his finger pressed to the trigger, and for a 3rd time in this matchup, going to look for that tornado DDT. What athleticism by the newcomer. Hooking the leg, will that do it? Nicholas Hemmerling to be victorious in his debut. Yes, gets the 3 count. Hemmerling certainly was not easy. No walk in the park for Hemmerling in his CMV debut, but he gets the victory. Able to survive the onslaught by the veteran of the ring. And that nasty tornado DDT off the top rope is what did it in here. This is early on. You know, Hemmerling might have been able to finish off of this, but looks like he the trajectory wasn't exactly on point. He didn't get all of it, and I thought it was over right here. The slingshot vertical suplex by Vegas wasn't enough to keep down the mighty one. weathering the storm. And Hemmerling emerges with the W after this right here, the third time in the matchup. Spiked right on top of the head. Vegas was not getting up from that, my friends. Hemmerling has arrived. Impressive performance. Let's see how he carries himself forward. All right, my fine feathered friends, here we go. The main event for Reality Wrestling number 46. What was supposed to be a Rising Star Championship matchup. Now it's going to be Roderick G. Pullman in action against Blake Virtue after Gale. Remember, didn't appear on Fusion earlier this week, but he's set for that against Ryan Riley. And then Johnny Sampson filling us in on the situation earlier tonight at the top of the show. Gale been put into rehab to try and battle his vices. And that's obviously why he's not here tonight either. But Sampson saying he'll have no choice, even though Gale is trying to get better, which is obviously a good thing. The Rising Star Championship has to be defended. So if Gale cannot make it to CyberSlam this Sunday, we know the rule. The Rising Star Championship has to be defended every 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since Gale won the championship. So if he cannot make it to CyberSlam this Sunday to defend the championship, it will be vacated and a new champion will be crowned. RGP, you know, he's got to be at least a bit miffed. He was preparing for Gale all week long, I should say. And it was, of course, Gale who defeated RGP back at Sacrifice to win the Rising Star title, handing RGP his first defeat. RGP going to try to bounce back from that here and putting down Virtue, preparing for the massive Eric Skarsgård this Sunday. Pullman will also be in action tomorrow night, be teaming up with Sean Kent to take on Skarsgård and Luke Swanson. Of course, another match announced earlier this week for CyberSlam this Sunday. Luke Swanson and Sean Kent going to be going one-on-one. Truly, guys, a card stacked from top to bottom. Very much looking forward to it. As Pullman, the eerie, almost mystical, if you will, superstar makes his way into the ring. And if I were RGP, I would most definitely not be underestimating Virtue, especially since RGP hasn't been preparing for Virtue. And like I said, Blake is coming into this matchup off of 3 wins, one of which was defeating Eric Skarsgård. Virtue, the only man who has been able to defeat Skarsgård. So you know this will be a great test for RGP. Virtue gets the win here. He very well could be the one to head into this Sunday's pay-per-view to crown a new Rising Star champion if Gale does not make it to the event. Remember, if Gale can make it to CyberSlam, he will defend his title. It's only if he doesn't that it will be vacated. But here he comes, Blake Virtue. And this kid is a nasty striker. His kicks, elbows, and punches. You do not want to get in a slugfest with this man. RGP, hopefully what time he had, did his homework on Virtue. A big part of RGP's game is trying to get into his opponent's head. A lot of mind games, if you will. Doesn't take away from his in-ring aptitude. Sugar is a big Virtue fan. As the rookie gets set for action here in the main event. Jade Dynamite is Australian? I did not know that. I never figured Aaron White was Australian. That's interesting. So I guess actually 2 pretty big names. Or 3 rather. Jeremy Blake, Jade Dynamite, and Aaron White all Australian competitors here in CMV. Look at this. Okay, nice handshake at the start of the matchup. RGP and Virtue showing some good sportsmanship. That's not going to stop them from trying to get the win here, though. Only one man can emerge with that. Oh, big time W to brainbuster right out of the gate. Gonna ring the bell of Blake now. A lifting reverse DDT by Polarman. Up to the second turnbuckle, and here comes RGP digging elbow right into the chest. Not a great start for Virtue. He's definitely carrying the better momentum into this one. Nice drop toe hold. There we go. Don't take your eyes off the ball. Irish whip. Watch out, Poe. Don't want to take that bump. Ooh, that was, what is that, a slap? It's like rushed and slapped him. So much for sportsmanship, I guess. Up over the shoulders. Perhaps that, knowing RGP, lumbar check off the torture rack. Nasty, by the way. Knowing RGP, that handshake was just him trying to mess around with Virtue. Ooh, sleeper slam off the rebound. That'll wake you up. And another lifting reverse DDT. Actually, guys, just moments ago before this matchup started, I received word from general managers Johnny Sampson and Castle Fade that if Black Gill does not make it to SiberSlam this Sunday and the title is vacated, a new champion will be crowned between RGP and Eric Skarsgård. Their grudge matchup will be turned into a championship bout to crown a new holder of the Rising Star Championship. That's if Gale does not make it. So RGP is still going to get his opportunity to become champion. He'll just have to get past Skarsgård to do so. There's that triangle drop kick that we've come to expect from RGP. Usually a prelude to the eyes of Pullman, that Hangman's face buster. I'm sure Pullman was told the news that he and Skarsgård matchup would be for the championship, so more than ever he wants to nab the victory. But what a beautiful rotation neckbreaker up to the second turnbuckle. Thought about taking a risk, instead went against it. Flow over DDT. Pullman been all over Virtue in this with little spurts of offense here and there, but largely been all Roderick. Kick to the back, just keeping him grounded, not allowing him to get up. Fireman's carry overhead. Can't count out Virtue, though. Fireman's carry showed him how it's properly done, I guess. Toe to toe, and Pullman with an Irish whip. Virtue into the corner. Not a place that he wants to be. Stiff slap right across the face. I guess getting back at Blake for that slap that he gave Roderick earlier. And the matchup, and now Pullman to the top rope, looking to just drive his knees right into the gut of Virtue, and that might have broken every rib in his body. Hooks the leg, making sure there's no rope breaks. Poe in a position at one, but just a one count. All right, geez Louise. Could at least sell a little bit. Polarman thinking that would have been enough to get the job done. Instead, just, why is he staring at me? I gotta look away. You get lost in those eyes. I never said nothing negative about you. Come on. Reverse DDT. Grabs him by the hair in his head, and now Virtue looking for something nasty here. Ooh! Vertical suplex. Not just one, but two. Oh, nope. Swings behind for a back suplex too, amigos. Two peas in a pie, Oh, then here we go. There's that striking I talked about. The knees, the kicks, the elbows. I don't know if anybody does it better than Virtue as he looks to grab a hold of the leg. Could be in big-time trouble. Nope, just a 2 count. Virtue, if he wins here, he could very well see himself inserted into this Sunday's Rising Star Championship matchup. I mean, at least that's what I would do if I was in charge. Oh, but look at this. Look at us seal the deal with the Widowmaker. 1, 2. I don't know if RGP is married, but able to survive there just barely. His neck's got to be throbbing something fierce. Fights back into it. Irish whip into the corner. Maybe going to go again for that triangle drop kick is what I'd imagine. We're just going to chop him in the throat. Jeez Louise. The quickness of Virtue going to pay off for him right there. Rotation neck breaker. Wrong time to taunt, though. My fine feather friend and RGP with a victory roll. No, look at that. Look at that pin. Wow. And RGP grabs the win, too. Stealing it. Rolling out of the ring before Virtue even knows when he hit him. Sneaky, sneaky. I guess Virtue gonna learn to not taunt. Not to turn his back on his opponent like that, because he paid big time. This was a huge opportunity for Virtue. Took his eye off the ball and paid for it. What a pin by RGP. And I love how Pullman just rushed right out of the ring immediately too. As soon as the ref's hand hit the canvas for the 3, RGP got out of there. He knew Virtue would be pissed. Got that, nasty Widowmaker. Thought Virtue might have the match in the bag right there. We're not going to get a replay, but, oh, look at this. Virtue is pissed. But look at RGP says, I'm smart. You turned your back on me, and you paid for it. Virtue not happy. Pretty much just cost himself the matchup, but what a win for Polarman as he heads into this Sunday to back. What a win, though. For watching, as always. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, follow me. So, of course, the next hour for the Go Home edition of Genesis! Join in the chat. We'll give you a link to our website, cmvwrestling.com, ! CMV. Let you know a little bit more about us if you're curious. Official CMV _ our Twitter if you want to follow us for all that good stuff, updates, match cards, etc. And all the past episodes of CMV are on my YouTube channel, linked on my Twitch info page. Guys, this Sunday is SummerSlam, the card for which will be posted on our website just a little bit later, a couple of hours or so. So make sure you're a part of our site so you can vote, have your voice heard, because it is going to be an awesome event and the power is in your hands. Sorry, Chrissy. I'm so sorry, but I just can't do it. Maybe a little bit of UFC later, though. But love you and see you tomorrow or hopefully Sunday.